Yeah, it will be interesting if we have the same cards, Fletch. Yeah, tactical cards. Just thought we'd share a quick video with people on some of the content. If you watch enough of these and check online, you could probably like cluster together a pack of them anyway. First thing that I like, look, all the skill games are in. This is one of the sets of them. So lots of two-touch games. So the return for rugby stuff's covered. Rondo, which for me is a great skill zone as well to go alongside it. All the information on how you play the game, why you might play the game. Some coaching clues, so some stuff on there around actually who might you give information to and why. How can you introduce like mini set piece stuff? Who might you share information with before the session? So same again, some stuff around that in the pack. And then the coaching skills that I mentioned, and maybe, yeah, so probably my favourite last night, some hockey players thought they'd seen fire. Just giving people another opportunity to do something, either to support or stretch, ideally getting them to be able to call it, and it's got a couple of nudges on there as well. So I really, those should help people kind of scaffold them into the gamey type stuff. Lots of it is games. Some of it's scenarios. So the first card I picked, John Fletcher, is the Ian Peel World Cup final scenario one. And it's just got some bits in it that I think are important. One is brings to life the game. Second is 32 seconds ball out of play, gives people that small time that exists in a game to organise. It gives you time on the clock, score, so you know that you've got to achieve something, and then it actually gives you multiple goes. So it gives you 7 goes and you've got to score 3 times. Down the bottom, you'll see a coaching hint. So each card has a coaching hint as well to help the coaches. So this one is a sin bin, and actually you might have to support the players with how they defend differently. Next one, line-out challenge. Rusty loves a line-out. This was really just around the process of line-out, so some stuff that's important, scoring it, and then playing a game right first to 49 points. So just, I mean, the thing that's got the highest points in this game, and clearly people can adapt it, is 3 points of good delivery. The reason that's in is all too often we do line-out sessions where we don't give the ball to a 9. And then it's got a coaching hint, a bit of show me, which I love. And then I got 4 more. I picked Sam Vesti Attack Challenge, which is really around creating line breaks. And it's a great game because it also incentivizes low numbers to create and be part of. They get extra points for it. And then just gives something for the coach to notice, which I think is a helpful scaffold. Kickoff Challenge. Rusty obviously just picked my own card. What's the purpose of a kickoff? In this one, we've got to keep them in their own half. So you might catch the ball, you might defend hard, you might force them to kick and catch it. Try to make it playful. So if the team can do it 6 in a row, then the coaches will do press-ups, wanted to break down some hierarchies, and they can also call 2 timeouts. And that's in there really to allow them to problem solve, like hopefully they would in a game. Then I picked Jared's defense game, 6-minute game. Clearly you can adjust this, and it's see how many streaks of double shots. So 2 defenders, 1 attacker you can get. That's obviously something lots of people talk about. Can we get 2 defenders on 1 attacker? And in this game, and you can play it in a touch version, then you're trying to build streaks, and it's first group to get to 51 points. And last one, Captain Joel Ab, King of France. Something that would happen not only when you play against South Africa and Cheslin Colby, but often teams have players on the end who are quite quick and hard to stop. And so in this one game, you need 4 touches to stop Cheslin, and Cheslin exists on both sides. And then, yeah, it's just really for the players to fill in the blanks and problem solve. How do we prevent Cheslin getting the ball? If he gets the ball, what do we do about it? So those are my 6 cards. How many of you picked that are the same, Fletch?
I picked 1, but as you were talking, I skillfully deleted it. I had a couple of spares. I thought you might pick 1 or 2.
Which one did you pick that was the same?
The Sam Vesti, the first team make.
Yeah, you like that one. Sorry.
I think it's a strong. Yeah, I think it's a strong card. Right, well, mate, if you stop sharing.
I'm stopping sharing.
Let's go. So mine would be, I'm surprised that you didn't pick a transition and you picked 2 for defence. You've been hanging around with Joe Lab too much. So these would be mine. So a couple around the set piece. So the line out challenge stuff around the Phil Dowson. I think the mirroring skill is really important, especially as players sort of start to introduce the line out. I think that would be a key skill. I like the fact that you've got a certain number of lineouts. I like the fact that it's a game, and I like the fact it comes from Phil Dowson, to be honest. And the hint is just around the information. What's the sort of game information, the cues that you're looking for? I think that would be a real solid place to start around the line out. Clearly, there's lots more lineouts happening in the game. The kick-off one, I actually didn't put a scrum one in. So the kick-off is around this scenario. So I think players get really excited around this situation that they would have either seen or they've been involved with. So last play, it's your kick-off, and you need to win all 3 scenarios. I mean, this is a tough card. So to win all 3, 2 points up, 2 points down, 6 points down, I think it's going to get some really good conversations. And then the hints around, look, just maybe add some timeout stuff to help people problem solve. Yeah, and then you maybe sort of messing around with the numbers a bit to try and maybe support them around some success. So they were my 2 around the set piece.
So that could be a whole session to finish all those 3.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that could be an hour and a bit around a training session. That would take quite a long time. The attack one, so I had the same one as you. My stand-in was from Jess, around 5 points to score first phase and then 4 points, etc., etc. So you get less points the higher number of phases. So real nudge around. Let's be trying to be creative around our strike plays and how we're going to score, and also just the nudge that you don't always depend on numbers. So last night we had sort of 18, so 9 aside, but we could do like just group 1-to-1 together, have a mini line out, clearly around the COVID restrictions, but we can play from mini stuff. It doesn't always have to be that, oh, well, we don't have 15 players. The hint's fairly self-explanatory, really, but a nudge around a freeze. I think it's pretty underused. In the defence channel, was just around trying to push people back, trying to create this situation where and then you get rewarded for it. And obviously there's some opportunities for the attacks. I think it's a fair game. So it's often the defence is not that fair. It's sort of dominant around the defence, and that's a cool one from Giselle. And I also like the fact it's a game. And the last one's around problem solving. I don't think you had a couple of these in. So mine was just around the problem solving stuff, is around how can we use clickers? So how can we actually use use a tool, I guess, to look to support what they were talking about. I think a clickers is a great way of doing it. I've just seen fire moment with a senior coach about a week ago when I handed him a couple of clickers and said, maybe just start scoring what you think's important. Because what's important to you, the players will recognise that, and they'll soon understand that it's going to be important to them as well. So that's stuff around problem solving. And the Stuart Lancaster one around transition, I think, is a great game. So the attacking team have 3 phases, so that would be kind of normal. People play a bit. If they don't score, they then have to kick. So you're creating this kick run type situation, and there's some points around it. And obviously the most points is around no face try, and you get some points around catching the backfield. So how you organise that. So I think that's a real strong game. I actually played a version of that a couple of Sundays ago, one of our first sessions back, and the players loved it. Just that the strategic stuff around it, real high energy, good information. They're in for me, mate.
Yeah, I played a version of that, same again. It started off with kick tennis. It then became a really dynamic, transition-y backfield being covered. Lots of people kicking game. Which is cool.
Can I just ask you one question? Why have we done these? What's the purpose of them?
Because you made me.
Apart from our major.
And at least you didn't start them last November. I think it's a real good toolkit for coaches. It gives you some stuff around your practice design. It gives you some stuff around your coaching behaviours and some coaching hints. And then it gives you loads of different options that either you choose or the players choose. And you can probably go, look, a session is 4 or 5 of these. So here, you could play the Lanny game for 20 minutes, and you'd still, and you might combine it with a problem-solving card as well, and go, look, and actually when we're doing problem-solving, and we've deliberately not called it huddle because it is supposed to be problem-solving, then here's some stuff that we can do. So I think there's some combinations that go nicely. I am genuinely biased, however, I think it's ridiculous. So I've obviously shown it to lots of people, and I've played around with some of it, and that's from first teams down, really, that people have gone, wow. Why? What are you thinking?
Yeah, the same, really. I think we're obviously then, see, it does what it says on the tin. It's around developing tactical players, so people who can work together with other teammates, with the support of the coach, which is a key function of a coach, and just sort stuff out. And I love the fact that you can blend them, as you said. So 2 or 3 cards you just take, and that's your training session, really. I think also if you could blend them with the coach challenge cards, so actually around your behaviour, can we continue to be intentional and supportive of each other as coaches? We've now got a huge number of coaches within one of the age groups that I support, the under 13s. We've probably got about 8 coaches, so it's actually a little bit clunky. So how can we blend these with some other resources? But I agree with you, it's the best thing we've done. I think people are really going to enjoy them, and the outcome will be players will be much more tactically aware, much more adaptable and skillful.
And happier coaches.
And more chill coaches.
Over and out.
Over and out.